Hello, friends, and welcome to the final Christmas episode of the happiest hour on earth. We're so happy you joined us tonight. We took last week off. We had some kind of personal stuff come up, so we took a little break last week. Then I got this little, head cold situation that I'm at the tail end of at this point. So I was I'm not going to miss our last Christmas episode. So I'm a part of it tonight, for sure.
And I feel fine. Chance feels fine. Thankfully, we are recording on a wood table. I want to do that little knock. But it has been a little bit, and we've been good.
Yeah, I don't know what I've got going on here.
Yeah.
It's I think I'm through the worst of it, so that's the good news. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna power through tonight. Yeah, I had to.
You will power through tonight. I'll just.
You'll do your thing. Yeah, exactly. So basically, we had a Christmas episode a few weeks ago where we
so much.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to that one, go back and do it. But we basically picked what rides that don't have holiday overlays that we would love to see in all of the parks, both in Disney World and Disneyland.
Yeah.
That was a really fun episode. But
challenging,
tonight,
but so awesome.
Yes, it was a big challenge for sure. It took some preparation on both of our parts.
Yeah, definitely.
But as for tonight, there was some recent announcements that the nominees for the Golden Globes are happening, and the Golden Globes are happening mid-January. Yeah. So with that happening, we kind of had the idea that we were going to do a little bit of a awards ceremony of our own in holiday fashion. So we're just going to kind of talk about all the Christmas things that we love, whether it's movies, music, traditions, just all the things. It's just going to be a hodgepodge. So it's going to be really fun. We have a fun list here. We've got just all the holiday feels. We love this time of year, and we're just really excited to talk about it one more time before Christmas is actually here. I cannot believe how fast December has gone by.
Seriously.
But
it's crazy.
Yeah, we're excited. Thank you for joining us, and let's go ahead and jump into it.
So before we jump in, we have a Christmas drink here that actually was recommended by a listener and follower of ours, Kristen. Thank you so much for DMing us and telling us about this drink.
Thank you so much.
This one is from Hollywood Studios, so we didn't really know that much about it. And so she said, I think there's a couple different places that you could get this drink in Hollywood Studios, but this is called In Holiday Fashion. And
it's beautiful, I must say.
It is so beautiful. Look at that thing. Anything with rosemary
as
a little garnish.
Taken
incredible.
Up a notch in just quality. It just looks so beautiful.
Especially around the holidays.
Yes. It's the perfect holiday garnish. And there's also a cherry in there because, of course, that's got to be a part of the garnish.
Yeah.
As always.
So awesome that you recommend. We love when people recommend drinks that they, heard about and want to see how we do. This one we couldn't really, we know what's in it, so we just kind of had to do some ratio figuring out. And we actually talked to Kristen because she was making it at her place, and so she had an idea. She tweaked the recipe a little bit, and so we kind of went off that a little bit. You could watch our reel and see what we did, but we have not tried it yet, and I'm very excited to try it. So should we jump in here?
Yes. Cheers. Let's do it.
Right off the bat, I smell that cinnamon.
Oh yeah.
So
you
brings me right into the Christmas spirit.
Do a little sprinkling of ground cinnamon on top. That does just make it taste like Christmas in a cup for sure.
That is so good. So this is bourbon, cranberry juice, rosemary simple syrup, lime juice, and then with a dash of cinnamon and a sprig of rosemary. I think it is really, really good. And this is 100% cranberry juice. I'm wondering if
cranberry juice is pretty potent. That's a strong flavor in this for sure.
I think Disney probably used a cranberry juice that has the sugar in it, not just the 100%.
Yeah.
But I think this is a healthier version of it.
It is. It's really good.
But it's not as sweet as
And I definitely don't get the rosemary simple syrup. I think we could have maybe taken that up a notch to taste it a little bit more. You get you get it on the
get the
nose.
notes, yeah,
It's right here when you take a sip. So that's really good. But if we did it again, I would probably add a little bit more of the simple syrup.
Yeah,
to add some more sweetness. It doesn't have much like sweet flavor.
I agree. Yeah,
tart, very tart.
That's so true. And so that's the funny thing about the shows. Usually we don't try the drinks until we're really actually on here. But really that adjustment, I think I would just bump up the rosemary simple syrup just a little bit. But that brings me right into the Christmas spirit. I'm ready to go. A couple more days. We're filming this on a Monday. Yeah. So we have 6 days, and I'm ready to celebrate.
I'm ready too. Maybe we'll have to make this one again. Some family or something.
Definitely. Yeah.
I want to try it in the park.
I love it. Yeah, and then another listener of ours, JV, he recommended one from Lamplight Lounge, but maybe we'll just do another Christmas drink next week, for that episode. Even though it's past. A Christmas one? Yeah, and it looks amazing. Oof. It's like a rum chata thing. So thank you for hitting us up about that one, because
for sure.
Yeah, I definitely
we'll get one more. I say we get one more holiday drink, because we didn't get enough this season.
We didn't. Yeah,
it was only really one. Well, I guess we had one drink, one snack before this. So this is our second drink. But yeah, we need one more. We do. Yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah. Oh man, that is amazing. But
really good drink.
So before we jump into this, and we have different categories. We have best Christmas comedy, best Christmas drama, best Christmas short film, best Disney Christmas short film. We had to split that up. Best classic Christmas song, best alternative Christmas song, best Christmas tradition, dish, and features at the park. So we're breaking it down. We have 5 nominees for each of these. We're not gonna dive too deep into each of them, because we don't want
the winner. We'll talk about why it's special to us and why it's the winner. But the other ones, we'll just assume that they're all fun.
Exactly.
To us.
But before we jump into this, we watched 2 new Christmas movies this year.
Really good ones.
Yeah, and so one of them was, I think the second one I liked even better. But first one we watched was A Christmas Story Christmas. And it had, I love A Christmas Story. She didn't really watch it until she met me.
No, I always watched it. Okay. I watched it when I was younger. It just wasn't necessarily one of my staple Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Which is weird for a lot of you, I'm sure, because I know it's a favorite among a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it is a great movie. I can't deny that. It's just, it was never.
And seeing this one, I think they handled it really, really well. I love the idea of, I don't want to do any spoilers, but I think it happens in the trailer. But I think that they handled it really well. It did have a lot of that sequel feel to it. You guys know what I mean. Following very similar beats of the first one, a little corny in some ways, right? It does have that, but it had a lot of heart that was woven throughout the entire film, and the end was just so sweet. And I'm not gonna spoil anything if you haven't seen anything, but it does actually conclude very, very nicely. I loved it. And then, or we both loved it. But then the other one we just watched this week.
Yeah, a few nights ago. 2 nights ago, I think.
We had so much fun with this movie.
Such a good movie.
Yeah.
It's called Spirited. It just came out.
Apple TV.
Yeah, on Apple TV very recently. It was a new one, but it's with Ryan Reynolds and, oh my gosh, why did I just blank on his name?
Ferrell.
And Will Ferrell, of course.
The elf himself.
Himself. And it was just such a fun movie. It was a different take on the Christmas Carol story, basically. Yeah.
Which I was excited about because, right, Scrooge. I haven't seen Scrooge in a while. I know some people love that movie so much, and I do too. It's just we don't really have it in our rotation. But a lot of movies redo A Christmas Carol, and this was a different take on it.
Yeah.
It was... I don't want to even... With these ones, I'm not going to spoil anything. But it was different in a way, and I love the twist that they did in it.
Yeah. It was really fun. Yeah. It was in musical style. So there was a lot of songs in it. I
love musicals.
He's had it on repeat ever since we watched it.
Actually, right before we film this, usually I listen to...
we have hype music as we get ready for our episodes, and usually he's got...
You usually listen to pop punk. For some reason, I love pop punk. I usually listen to
hip hop and rap.
Old style hip hop. And so tonight I was listening to the Spirited soundtrack, which
getting
is
in the
very
Christmas
different
zone.
very different musicals compared to rap music.
But it is just that good to him. He was actually listening to that before our episode.
I listened to the album.
It's a really good soundtrack to that movie, and just overall a really, really fun movie. So definitely give it a watch.
Funny, but has a lot of heart.
Lots of
Does
heart.
have a lot of songs. So if you're not into musicals, it might not be your thing. But
if you
it
like
wasn't
them,
like Les
you
Mis.
probably love it.
For sure.
We kept kind of comparing it to other movies that like other musicals and other just like that style humor.
Yeah.
And it was just a really good overall well done movie. I just really liked it.
And as we watched that one, I was like, this is one I want to watch every single year.
Yeah. I think it's gonna
has
be
a great message
in the rotation. He wants to watch it again before Christmas.
It doesn't have to be before
probably
Christmas.
will.
Before the end of the year, I'm down with it. Because it's, it's a good story,
Yeah.
even
It was good.
after.
I
So-
totally would. I would do it.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I didn't know you were down, so now we get to watch it again.
That was really good. I'd be willing to do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I've been telling my friends, I'm like, have you seen it yet? Okay,
Yeah.
you should see it. And they love musicals too.
It's
so funny. All my guy friends are so into
I'll
musicals.
text them about musicals.
They're like, it sounds like Dear Evan Hansen something else. But we love it. But anyways, should we jump in?
Yes.
Do you want to start us off with the first category, which is Best Christmas Comedy? Yeah.
Yes. So there's obviously a lot of great Christmas comedies out there. We all have our favorites. But in the lineup, we have...
And these aren't best. These are technically favorites
Yeah.
of ours. So
Yeah. I'm just saying they're the best in our book, our favorites every year.
Yeah.
So we have The Santa Claus, the Tim Allen one, which is so good. Elf, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, A Christmas Story, and Christmas with the Cranks, which probably is really lame to a lot of you, but it's just for some reason a favorite in our home. It became a favorite of my family's at some point.
I didn't watch it until I started dating her, and then I fell in love with it too.
Right?
Especially because it's Tim Allen, Santa Claus, in a Speedo at one point.
Yeah.
And that's just
And Jamie Lee
the
Curtis,
funniest
and they're
thing,
just hilarious together.
They do have
Anyways,
good
that
funny chemistry.
we got off on a tangent there because that's probably a random pick for a lot of you. But it is not the winner of this category. The winner goes to none other than the Santa Claus.
How can you not? I mean, that is one that ever since I was little,
Me too.
that movie
It
puts
has
me
been the
directly
one.
into the Christmas spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
And
It's, usually we watch it twice a year. Usually it's like one of the first that we watch, and it's the one that we watch like either Christmas Eve or Christmas night.
Yeah,
We have to watch it a second time.
for sure. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just so good.
and let us
beat
know. Hit us up if you've seen the Santa Claus's show.
Yeah,
we just finished
that.
it. I loved the second to last episode, the Yule verse. That was really really cool. So if you saw that, let us
cool.
know, and let us know if you agree with our decision there, because I think most people probably would. Although
These
a
are
lot
all
of people love
favorites.
National Lampoon's Christmas
Yeah.
Vacation, Scrooge, all this stuff too, but it's not really in our rotation.
Yeah.
We do need to watch those again. It has been a little bit. So.
Yeah, I feel like we've been really busy with Christmas movies this year because a lot of them have been with our son as well, like more of his style Christmas movies. He loves Polar Express and some of those ones, but we've had our own list to deal with as well.
for sure.
Which, on that note, we do actually have an episode. If you're recent to our podcast, we have an episode from this time last year that is a breakdown of and a ranking of all of our favorite Christmas movies. So
that was hard ranking.
Very hard.
That was tough.
but
with that, we are going to be moving on to best Christmas dramas. And these are not really, I mean, like some of them are not really dramas, right? But I feel like that kind of happens with the Golden Globes and the Academy too. They always say like best picture in a comedy or musical. And it's like, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
But we're just labeling these as, some of these are romantic comedies, some of these are more dramas, some of them are whatever.
Drama, like overarching theme.
Yeah. And so our nominees for our favorites are White Christmas, The Holiday, It's a Wonderful Life, Polar Express, and While You Were Sleeping. And I know Polar Express kind of is a little odd one out there.
But it's so good.
It is really good.
Still a favorite.
But what we had to decide here, and we love a lot of these movies, but what we had to decide, especially, I think it's one of the not just best Christmas movies, but probably one of the best movies. Like
It's
one,
so
probably within the
impactful.
5. Yeah. It's a Wonderful Life. Every year we actually tend to watch this after Christmas,
Like
just
kind of
because
between Christmas and New Year's. I feel like it's a good just in between movie.
yeah, it's such a important lesson that we all need to hear from time to time. And so I like watching it, between Christmas and New Year's. Start off the new year with a mindset of, you are valuable. Everyone listening right now, you are valuable. We love you. And, there might be times where you feel like George Bailey, a lot of things are happening. But the way that they're able to handle such a heavy topic back then in a very palatable way for like anyone was just so amazing. And so that had to win in this category.
It's so good. I mean, the acting is incredible. Like the way that
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart acts is so believable. It's crazy. And just every character really in the whole movie is so good. And just the theme, like you said, it's hard to beat in my book, and I know for you too. It's just, it has become such a favorite of ours, and I could watch it any time of the year, but I feel like kind of going into each new year, it's a good one to rewatch again. So definitely win for favorites.
Definitely.
Next, we're going to talk about best Christmas short films. So this is not the Disney ones. We have a separate category for those.
We're trying to lump them in. It was just way too hard.
It's too hard because I personally have a lot of favorites in this category because they're just ones that I grew up with. And I guess they've become kind of favorites for you too. Even though they're super lame and super cheesy, they're still favorites, and they're still ones that we have to watch every year, and we've introduced them to
you
our
kind of
son.
got me on that Rankin Bass hype, But
I
no,
grew up with
don't be
them.
sorry. Yeah, I love
They're
them.
so good.
Classics.
I know, like, they're like claymation, and it's kind of like hard to watch now that we have the animation that we do these days, but they're so good still. But in this lineup, we have Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Charlie Brown Christmas, and Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah. The fifth one, we were kind of like, well, which one do we throw in there?
Yeah. It was kind of one that we were like, well, it's not really one that we have to watch every year, but it is still kind of like one that I grew up with, and I still find it special. And we love all of these, but the winner for us had to be Charlie Brown Christmas. I love this one so much. We just showed it to our son the other day for the first time, and it's just so sweet. You can't not love this movie. The music in it, and I feel like Charlie Brown embodies so much of what so many people go through at this time of year. Just kind of like searching for what it is that the meaning of Christmas is, and kind of like, a lot of people just feel lost and lonely at this time of year, which I can understand. It's, when you see all the joy that other people around you have, and maybe you just aren't in that zone in this phase of life, like, it's just hard. I totally understand that. So it's a very applicable movie for it being like an animated film from what year even was it? Is it the 60s?
67. Yeah.
It's just so good. And I love the classic Christmas story in it that Linus tells. It's just such a good movie. Everything about it. I just love the way that it finalizes in the end, and Charlie Brown's just finally like just happy with what he's discovered, and they fix that little tree, and it's just so special. It's such a good movie.
I do love it. Yeah, there's not like that music that Christmas time is here, but there's like that little choir, and it sounds all scratchy. Like that really always puts me in.
So good.
Yeah, it's so amazing. So next up, we have our best Disney Christmas short films, and there's so many good ones.
Oh my gosh.
So we have here this was a hard one to pick, but we had Olaf's Frozen Adventure, which we just love. We've watched like
we've talked about it 3
already.
times on this podcast. It has become one of our son's favorites.
Yeah.
And it's so cute. So it's like kind of one of our favorites now too. It's like a half hour long, not even, I don't think.
Yeah.
And it's just such a cute story.
So yeah, we have Olaf's Frozen Adventure, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which we just love so much. New one there. Mickey's Christmas Carol, Pluto's Christmas Tree, and then From Our Family to Yours. And we were going to put like Prep and Landing here. I know a lot of people love it, and this was actually the first time we watched it this year. But we rewatched From Our Family to Yours, which is on Disney Plus, and it's just such a
Tears.
sweet, I mean, it just hits you right in the feel. So we had to add that one here. And before I announce the winner, I do have to say, like you said, Olaf's Frozen Adventure is one of my favorites. The music in that, and we talked about that actually was one of our ride re-themes from our last episode for Frozen Ever After. I think that's probably my favorite out of this list. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is definitely one that we are going to be rewatching every year now, because that brought about some feels I didn't realize I would have watching that holiday special. So much fun, heartwarming and all this stuff. But the winner here, because I remember watching this when I was a kid, and
as a part of
Mickey's
House of Mouse, Snowed In. What's it called?
Snowed In at the House of Mouse. That is not on Disney Plus,
which is ridiculous. We had to find it.
We bought it
in an alternate way because it should be on Disney Plus, but it's not. Yeah. So we had to find it a different way, and we bought it, so we have it. But it is like the best. And
it is
so weird to me that it's not on there.
I know, but the actual Mickey's Christmas Carol, that was the first Christmas Carol I ever watched. I didn't even watch the other ones before.
Probably me too.
And so seeing that as a kid, put in the amazing story being put into the characters that we all know and love as kids, it was amazing. And so that had to win. Even though there might be some that we watch more than this, but man, I remember seeing the giant. I would always crack up at him. And then,
he was
Pete,
so funny.
I was always so scared of Pete.
Oh yeah, I know. And he's not even as scary as a lot of
the
Ghost of Christmas Futures and some of the other retellings. But that dark cape, man, it always scared me. We fast forwarded it for our son most times that we watched it. Like,
we don't want to be woken up in the middle of the night by him.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know how scared he's gonna get from that.
But so that one won our
movie.
Best Disney Christmas Shorts.
It's so good.
So onward.
Next, we're gonna talk about Christmas music. There's so much of it, and we've had our Christmas playlist going daily, multiple times throughout the day. It's pretty much all we listen to right now because you only get to do it once a year. So we soak it in as long as we can. There's so many good Christmas songs. So first we're going to talk about best classic Christmas songs. So these are a lot of the older ones that are so good. But
this was hard.
It was hard to pick. But the ones that I think are the most notable for us would be It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Perry Como, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, Brenda Lee, The Christmas Song by Nat King Cole, and Let It Snow by Frank Sinatra. They're all so good, and there's really nothing like hearing the old classic Christmas songs in my book. It's just, it brings about a different kind of feel. Like the ultimate Christmas feels. That
definitely is. And I love how a lot of their songs have like the 3 backup singers or something like that do some parts, and just hearing that, like, their old little voice, not old little voice, but there's that kind of style. Tiny. They have like a certain timbre to their voice that really kind of gives you those cozy little feels.
Yes,
so
it's true.
So I love it.
And
they always pop in from time to time, and you're just like, every time you hear them, you're like, oh, they sound like nice people popping in here. So I love it.
And with that, the winner for us in this category is The Christmas Song. And if you don't know, just based on the name, that's the one that's like chestnuts roasting on a fire. Anyways, I'm not gonna sing it, but it's just the most cozy Christmas song. Every time I hear it start, I'm just like, I just want to cuddle up with a blanket and some hot chocolate or something. Like, it's so good and such a classic Christmas song.
I love the beginning.
Nat King Cole's voice.
Yeah, Nat King Cole's voice, and then the like the strings that start off the song, which I always love a lot of the more upbeat older ones too, but there is something about the Christmas song that really puts you just
like
fireplace,
none other can,
Christmas lights going, all this stuff. So we did have to pick that one.
Yes, so good.
Next up, we had to do one more that's just the ones
Christmas
that don't
songs.
fit within that kind of category. So it's best alternative Christmas song. I mean, some of these aren't even
Newer
like super
and,
new, but these are just like the
more
problem
uncommon
child
ones.
like Christmas song. No, just kidding.
Just the ones that you don't hear like all the time if you're like listening to like a Christmas radio station. Like
a little more fringe. Some of them aren't. So I'm gonna start with some that could have maybe been in the classic ones, but are a little bit out. So This Christmas by Donny Hathaway. Love that song. Good. That just makes me
it makes
smile,
me so happy.
Dance,
and our
really
son loves it too. We had it on tonight and he like kept starting it over on my phone because it like made him smile every time it started. He was like smiling and he would like start dancing. It's such amazing. A happy song.
Yeah. So we have This Christmas, Donny Hathaway. Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys gives us those really good coastal beachy Christmas vibes. And then after that, after those two, we have Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues, Carol of the Bells by August Burns Red, and then That's Christmas to Me by Pentatonic. So quickly, I don't want to like go. I feel like we always like break everything down. I don't want to take too long, but we have to break down some things. So so That's Christmas to Me by Pentatonics. One of my favorite. I mean, their harmonies so beautiful. Love that song.
And it just captures so much of what Christmas means to me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's beautiful.
Really, if you haven't heard that song, listen to it. So beautiful. Carol of the Bells. So we grew up listening to a lot of like heavy music. August Burns Red. The reason why we put this in here too is because at Disneyland in California Adventure, there's these little wooden toy soldier drummers, and they actually drum along to this song
version. And this is a band that we've listened to for a lot of years.
Ever since I was like 13, and then you got brought into the fray.
Don't go look them up if you don't like really heavy.
But they do have a full Christmas album that's all
without lyrics.
Yeah, heavy Christmas songs. But the fact that they play this band in Disneyland and these little toy drummers,
it's been like our favorite
playing
thing
it.
It's like
it's so
years.
Funny. So we had to add it in here. But the winner here, we actually chose Fairy Tale of New York, and it's
kind of my choice, but I think.
But I love it too. So if you haven't heard the song before, you might not need to listen to it. This was actually played at the beginning of the Guardians of the Galaxy special,
which I was so excited about when it started, and I heard this song start. I was like, yes, it is not played enough. I heard it for the first time probably like 5 years ago at this point. I had never heard it, and I was like, what is this amazing Irish Christmas song that I've never heard? And it's so weird because it's like kind of a despair song. Like it's very sad through a lot of it, but it ends happier, and it's like it starts out kind of slow and sad, and then it picks up in tempo, and it's just very Irish. And
content warning, lyrics. There's a lot of things that we don't agree with.
I think there's only one section where it's like some offensive wordage is used, so just be aware of that if you do look up
some of
song.
The covers of the song though do change this section, so that's cool to listen to as well. But I think it's so unlike any other Christmas song, so whenever it comes on, and we've been to Ireland before, and so it almost
it almost
brings back like Christmas, which is amazing, but then also it brings back this one trip
Yeah.
that we took. It
Not
wasn't
that we
even
were
during
there. Yeah, I was
at
gonna
Christmas
say it
time,
wasn't Christmas time, but it was
does-
still just.
We left a centimeter of our heart in Ireland.
We did. We definitely did.
so-
And every time I hear this song, I'm just brought right back to it. So
Yeah.
it was number one for us.
Yeah. So
It's
there
so
it is.
good.
Yep. Should we go on to best Christmas tradition?
Yes. So we have some traditions in this household. I'm trying to develop more. As
Yeah.
the years go on, I'm just reminded how much traditions really like play a part in your life as you grow up. And I think about when I grew up and how much it meant to me to have those special things that we did each year. So I really want to implement that as much as I can with our family and with our son as he grows up, because it's just very special. Like those are the things that you really remember as you get older.
Yeah.
So this is a special one. So our lineup for our Christmas traditions are setting up the tree while watching White Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
This is something we have done, I think, since the year we got married.
Yeah.
So it's been like 6 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it became a tradition, but it did. And it's just been something we do every year.
Yeah.
Searching for Christmas lights when we go out and drive around wherever the neighborhoods surrounding us to find some beautiful Christmas lights. We just did that the other night. Baking Christmas cookies, meeting Santa, and with my family, each year we do a Secret Santa gift exchange. So we always have someone's name picked within my family. Each one of us gets someone else, and we just pick a gift for that specific person.
Yeah.
So that's just been a fun tradition. But these are all very special traditions for us. But number one, I think, had to be setting up the tree while watching White Christmas.
Yeah. I think Christmas starts for us at that moment.
Yeah.
Right. This year we got our tree before Thanksgiving. First
is
time
very
we ever
abnormal.
did that. Yeah.
Usually it's the day after Thanksgiving we go out and get our tree.
Yeah.
But I was just like really feeling it this year early on. I was like, we need to
think-
soak up this Christmas
Shout out
season.
to Market House. They started really early, so we're like,
I was like, let's do it. I'm feeling it. Let's just go get our tree and get set up, because it passes in the blink of an eye. Like that whole season just passes so quickly, and I'm like, I just want to really soak it in this year. So we've had our tree up for a while, but
There's
something about that tradition is so special to me. It's like, because we love that movie so much, but it's one that we love to just kind of watch as we're getting set up, like decorating the tree and putting up some of our stuff. It's kind of just like we watch it like along the way.
And then by the
listen
time
to the
we're
music
done
and
decorating, that's right
that
at that
final
ending
scene,
final scene. So
which
then
is
we
so
just get to sit
special.
down and watch that. So
yes.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun, and it's so special for us. We usually make some hot chocolate, and it's just like, it's just a fun time for us together.
Yeah.
And our son helped us pick out the tree this year, but he wasn't so into the whole decorating thing yet. I think that will come in time. I think we let him hang his personal ornament that we got him like the year he was born. And then he just wanted to watch the movie, whatever movie we were watching at that point in the night. But it's also a part of this tradition that we love the morning after we decorate.
Yeah.
And we wake him up and bring him downstairs to let him see everything that we set up the night before. It's just like such a sweet, special moment to see his face. I filmed it this year, and I just got to see his little face when he saw the lights on the trees, and he just got so happy, and it was very, very special. So that is kind of like a part of this tradition now, because each year that's going to be a part of it.
yeah, definitely.
So special.
So our second to last category, we have two more categories. This one is best Christmas dish. Best Christmas dish. That is really hard to say. I just found out.
Yeah.
So we usually do, I feel like my family usually does like turkey and ham. She's not so much a ham fan. So we put turkey on here, which is, all these are That's just Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was
guys.
gonna say we were making
Like,
this list, and I was like, these are just like interchangeable Thanksgiving foods.
it's just the foods that one lady spouts off the Thanksgiving
Beans,
song.
greens,
That's the
potatoes,
only.
tomatoes.
Yeah. That's the only Thanksgiving song I know, and I love it. It's so good. If you don't know what we're talking about, DM us on Instagram, and we'll send you the link to the song because it's the
Great
best Thanksgiving song.
I always sing it every Thanksgiving.
But we do have beans, which is a green.
Yeah.
We do have potatoes on here. I'll just do the list in our order.
Just list
So we
them
have
off.
turkey, green beans, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, and pigs in a blanket.
Which pigs in a
yeah.
blanket are always our hors
Appetizer.
d'oeuvre,
Yeah.
appetizer thing now. That has become a
So
thing.
soft, so warm,
so delicious.
Yeah.
It was always his uncle's thing. He was the one that
He
always
was-
used to make it, and Chris would always get so excited about it.
I would eat like
Everybody
half of
loved them.
Yeah.
It was like everyone was so stoked to get pigs in a blanket when we would go over to their house for usually it was Thanksgiving.
And he stopped making
He
them,
stopped
and you
doing
took
it.
it.
So
You
I
picked up the
picked up
mantle.
the torch. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been doing it. I did it for Thanksgiving. I think I did it for something else this year. It's just become
It's the
my
best
like
snack.
thing to bring to events like that, and it is a great snack.
Having
However,
Disney pigs in a blanket would be amazing.
Disney pigs in a
But I
blanket,
don't know, just like a place where they have pigs in a blanket.
like in the
Like
park.
that. Yeah. That'd
That
be
would be
amazing.
cool. I was like, I'm trying to place where
I don't know
we would be
where,
getting Disney pigs in a
but
blanket.
but so, and if you've heard us for a while, we are like the biggest mac and cheese fans in the world.
Yeah.
But we decided to give the winner to mashed potatoes because there's something we'll have mac and cheese
On a
not during the
regular
holidays,
basis.
but mashed potatoes we usually only do during the holidays. So
Yeah.
the warm fluffiness of those,
Gravy.
the gravy. We
hard
had
to
to
be-
pick during
Because it
time
is
limit.
very much specific to the holiday season.
yeah.
I'd say more so Thanksgiving than Christmas, but whatever.
But
we're just talking about holidays here, I guess.
I'm if there's no mac and cheese, like I understand that. I'm like, okay, I could indulge in the meat and all this stuff. But if there's no mashed potatoes, I get really upset and
Yeah.
it ruins my entire
that
holiday.
you can't, you really can't
You
skip
need
out on
some
the potatoes.
potatoes,
That
yeah.
has to happen, especially in the mashed form. I mean,
Yes.
scalloped potatoes are good.
Oh, scallops are good. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of
Like
other
baked
forms.
are.
That would be
I
weird
love
at
baked
Thanksgiving.
potatoes, but yeah, no,
That's
if it's a
not
holiday,
Thanksgiving
you gotta
good.
mash them up.
Or Christmas. We're talking about Christmas. What am I talking
I mean,
about?
yeah, sorry. Any holiday, you gotta mash the
They
potatoes.
do need to be
Yeah,
mashed.
so
Potatoes.
good. The potatoes.
He likes to abbreviate words in case you haven't heard that happen before.
I don't
But
think I've ever
anyways,
done it in the show.
I don't
but
think you have.
In real life,
There's-
it's every other word.
Yeah,
No.
he does it a lot. But yeah, mashed potatoes are definitely a staple in the Christmas season. And since we don't have them as much throughout the year, it was the number one pick for
Yeah.
our favorite dish.
If you're also a potato fan, just DM us a potato emoji. And we'll talk about potato. I think
It's a
there
very
is, right?
versatile food. I mean, you
is.
got mashed potatoes, baked
French
potatoes,
fries.
French fries.
Potato tots, which we have every week.
Yeah.
Hash browns.
Yeah.
Dude, come
You
on.
can do anything with potatoes.
love
Okay.
it. Okay.
Potato tangent is over. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll do a whole episode on potatoes.
We do love potatoes around here. But moving on, we have our final category.
You got to end it on a Disney note.
Yes. We
Yeah.
decided that for this last one, we would do a Disney topic because
Yeah.
even though we don't go every year to the parks at Christmas time, we have in the past, and there are so many special things about it, and we still keep up with everything that happens at this time of year.
Yeah.
So we do have a little list. We wanted to rank the best features of Christmas at the park, basically. So we have the holiday ride overlays, holiday food, decorations and trees that are just scattered throughout the parks, characters in festive apparel, which we all love, and after hour parties / not totally related, but the candlelight processional, which is only done at Christmas time.
We added this in because we needed a fifth one. We have not been to an after hours party.
I have been to a candlelight processional
Yeah.
a while ago. I was there, gosh, might have been like a decade ago at this point.
Yeah.
That's weird
crazy.
to think about, but John Voight was there telling the Christmas story. A very fun experience to get to go to the candlelight processional. But The winner in our book for this had to be the decorations and the trees around the park, because nothing can really top seeing, especially the castle for me, decked out.
Main Street.
Yeah,
like there's certain
everything that is just like so decked out for the holidays is the most magical thing on earth.
Yeah.
The castle in just like with all the like blue
Snow
over it and the snow and like all the ornaments and stuff is like the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And obviously we love the trees and seeing Main Street decked out. I mean,
there's so many beautiful lands.
It's
during
beautiful.
The holiday season. Yeah.
We haven't been back at Christmas time since 2015.
Wait.
Last time.
That was before we were married?
It was before we were married.
engaged.
We got engaged that year. That was the year that we went to the park 4 times in the year, which was the most we've ever gone, I think.
Oh, yeah, almost. We did like 3 of them within the last 3 months of the year, I feel like. Yeah.
Yep. One of which was when we got engaged, and then we went the week after that. And then...
Yeah. And then we went during Christmas.
We went at Christmas time for just one day. And that was the last time we went because it was
so bad.
A rough time. We went between Christmas and New Year's, and it was like the most crowded I'd ever seen the parks. And I can't even imagine how it is now, if that's what it was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it's also magical on just another level of the term to
and
see
I think,
Disney at Christmas time.
Yeah, and the decorations definitely, bring about that Christmas spirit. The overlays are amazing. I mean, all this stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
And maybe, our perspective would change if we had been to an after hours party. Mm-hmm. And we might actually talk about this in an upcoming episode of things we have not done in the parks but want to do, kind of on that smaller level. Which last year we did our bucket list, which is like big things. This one's going to be like more attainable things that we have not done and would like to experience. But the decorations really bring about this Christmas feels. And you just talking about going during Christmas, Felicia, who we both, are friends and we're both with Park Hop and everything like that. She is going, I think she's going to be there tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and going through Christmas time.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm trying to remember her handle at the top of my head, but if you search just Felicia, she's just amazing. So definitely check her out in her follow list. But
Disney content, she'll probably have it over the next week.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to go back so bad at Christmas. I'm like,
I know.
At this point, knowing what the crowd situation is like, I think I would just have to go knowing like, probably not going to do rides. We're probably just going to be there to soak in that Christmas magic.
Yeah.
In the park.
Seriously.
So maybe next year or the year after that. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be so great to experience that with our son. So
it would.
Hopefully it'll be great. But with that concludes
our Golden Globe Awards.
Bravo
Globe. To the winners.
Seriously.
That was fun.
That was tough. That was really tough. But our last Christmas episode of 2022.
Yeah.
And
by the time next week comes around, Christmas will be over. It's crazy.
That
just seems to go faster and faster every year.
Yep.
Every year that we get older, it's like I blink and the season is done.
I know.
So sad.
It is sad.
But we've been soaking it in. We've had a good time celebrating.
That just means every year we have to celebrate it earlier and earlier. But like give it a few more years, we're gonna start celebrating in summer.
Oh
and
my gosh,
totally
Christmas in July.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm down.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
But thank you so much for listening. I think next week we will put out an episode. We originally weren't, but we skipped last week. So we're like, maybe we'll just do the episode. So we're gonna be talking, really excited to talk about this, just like the things that are attainable that we have not done and what we would love to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious to hear what you guys have done, because I know a lot of people have done some of the things that we haven't done. And so really excited to just talk about it, then also just interact with the amazing community that we have on our platforms and everything. You guys are the best. And so with that, we wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you for all your support through the years. It means so much.
It really does. Yes. Thank you guys so much. We hope you thoroughly enjoy the last bit of this season with your loved ones. Know that we love you. We care about you so much. We're so appreciative of just having you in our life and in this community. And yeah, we're just so grateful to know each one of you and to have you be a part of this thing we do.
Yeah.
This podcast. It's been the best, and you're a huge part of our thankfulness this year. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of the season, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya. Merry Christmas.
Bye guys.